The talk of a new Hunger Games novel has been discussed for a very long time, all the way back since they made Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, and even the author Suzanne Collins was interested in this idea. And then in 2019 it was announced that a new prequel novel would be coming out. And when they did announce this, they also announced that a movie would be released as an adaptation from the novel. This is exciting news, but so far we know, well, basically nothing about the film. And that got me thinking who would star in the film. Obviously they're going to have to cast new actors for the roles, and the Hunger Games is pretty well known for casting well-known actors for the parts. So for today, I'm going to be casting my top picks for actors for the Hunger Games prequel novel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. First up, we have the main character, Cornelia Snow. Cornelius basically has to carry the story. He has a certain charm about him, and it is clear that the past affects his decisions and the way he acts. For the role, the actor that is cast has to demonstrate the clear motivations that the character presents, and has to have that sense of determination and play the complex character that shows good and evil at different times. It would be a very challenging role and a difficult one to play, but I think Teal would be great in the role. He has been in a handful of movies and TV shows, and I think he would play the part perfectly and take what we know about Cornelius from the books and adapt it to screen. He has just the perfect look in what is described in the book, and I think he can play that charming student, but also can show the darker side that Cornelius shows later on in the book, while also being able to show off the emotion that is described in the book and showing it in his performance and facial expressions on screen. I know he's a little older than he's supposed to be in the book, but I still think he looks pretty young for the age. So that is why I think Teal would be great as Cornelia Snow. Now, Lucy Gray would be a pretty fun character to portray. She has a lot of depth, and the role requires someone who can play a character that is both fun and also has the musical ability to sing and perform. Lucy Gray has a stride of confidence to her and is not afraid to speak the truth. And I didn't actually have to look that far to find the perfect person to play the role. I think Millie Bobby Brown would be great playing Lucy Gray. Her big break was obviously in Stranger Things, where you can see that she plays a character that has been socially withdrawn and shows great determination. And in her newest film, Enola Holmes, she can also play a character that is fun and independent, and all of these traits can be shown in Lucy Gray. She is the perfect age at 16 and matches the small descriptions for the role. She can also sing and perform, and if needed to, she could be trained to sing the types of songs that are required from the book, because her performing is a massive part of the prequel. I know she's not American like the role requires, but she can do a pretty convincing American accent, as we've seen her do in other films and TV shows. And honestly, I think she'd be great to see on screen playing Lucy Gray. Next we have Janice Pimp. This role requires an actor who can bring a certain mistrust and uncertainty to the role. They need to have this interesting on-screen presence that can make you like and dislike them in moments of the story. Janice is a very complex character that can even be rational at times, but is also indomitable. That is why I think Ansel Elgort would be great in the role. He's a relatively new actor, but from what he's been in, he does an incredible performance in each movie. I think he's the perfect charm, but also he can play those uncertain and emotional roles, and that is what the character needs. He can play many different parts, and in each film he shows what he can offer. In my opinion, he's just the right look for Sanjay, as he's been described in the books, and could definitely explore different ways to play the character in this complex role that really does need an actor with a lot of talent that can make you feel different things when they're on screen. That is why I think he'd be great as Janice. Now that we have covered the main characters, now on to some of the supporting roles. First up we have Dean Highbottom, the Dean at the Academy in the Capitol. Now this role needs an actor that has a very serious on-screen presence and can play a man that is very shady and conflicted. They need to have that look of evil on their face while also looking tired and run down and showing that the years haven't been good to them. And that is why I'll be casting an actor that is a little older than intended, just to show the years on their face. That is why I think Kevin Spacey would nail this role. He's been in a number of movies and he's very well known for playing villains. I think that he would play the role really well. He has the perfect villainous vibe in all of his performances where he does play a villain, and he could really try and make this role very memorable. He's played similar roles like this before, where he can play this untrustworthy character that you never really know what they are thinking while hiding this dark secret. He definitely has the acting ability to play a role like this, and he would portray the character and deliver those important lines on screen really well. Now, even though Dean Highbottom is one of the main antagonists and is very unlikable, he is not the main antagonist and villain for the prequel. That would have to go to Dr. Gull. She is very persuasive and likes to fool and mess around with people, and is one of the reasons why Cornelius ended up the way he did. This role requires an actress who can play pure evil, while taking the character in different directions and really giving the character some depth. Dr. Gull is described as a small, stooped old woman with frizzy grey hair, and even though the actress I have in mind doesn't fit this description completely, I think the acting ability is too good to overlook. That is why I think Tilda Swinton would be great in the role. She too is great at playing very villainous and complex roles. In each movie she brings something new and very interesting to the screen, and she definitely has the acting ability to play a role like this. For this role, it also requires someone who can demonstrate the character's true evil ways and their potential and what they are capable of. And she could also really reach into the role and give a fantastic performance. That is why I think she'd be great as Dr. Gull. Okay, the last character I'll be casting for today is Tigress. I think Tigress can be a character that doesn't have to be serious all the time. She can have a fun and interesting personality and even a humorous side to make some of the moments in the film more lighthearted, which is exactly what you need in a film like this. But even though she can have a lot of heartfelt moments and bring out the real emotional side of her and the roller coaster that her and Cornelius have experienced together, and they've always been there for each other, the actress needs to have a caring and gentle side when they are on screen, but also a fun personality. That is why I think Chloe Grace Moretz would be great in a role like this. Even though she is still quite young, she has a lot of acting experience and can play a range of different roles, from a more humorous and funny part, but she can also deliver some more dark and serious roles, and that is what is required for Tigress. I can imagine she would play the character really well and would be quite a screen stealer when she's on screen. So there are my top picks for the Hunger Games prequel film, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Make sure to comment your thoughts down below. And of course, these are only my top picks for who should play each role, so make sure to comment who you think should play a role down below. Also, I'd like to announce that from now on, videos might not be as regular as they have been. I hope to post as regularly as I can, but some weeks there might not be a video out, just because I'm pretty busy most weeks. But I'll hopefully post as regular as I can. But thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already. And I'll see you next Friday.